go past five rounds, it's a wrap.
It wasn't a Ngannou, so many people, bro. The overhand right. Jake's got a tough chin, dude. I think he does whatever he wants after this. He just has such big balls, dude. He had to keep moving. That was the only strategy. People are gonna say he ran around the ring. They don't know. They don't understand fucking boxing.
He showed a ton of heart, right?
Ton of heart.
Just let me know your thoughts on Jake going 6 rounds with AJ.
You know, the fact that he did that, it was good because you know we didn't think it was going to go 6 rounds. We thought it was going to go 2. So the fact that he made 6 rounds is an accomplishment for Jake Paul.
I mean, I expected Jake to fight the way he fought.
Right.
You know, trying to stay away. You don't know if how long that's gonna last. You know, Joshua has something to say about that. So you don't know, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
Right. Were you, I don't know, impressed by anything Jake did? Maybe getting, I mean, he took a right hands the heavyweights have taken. And
Yo. Don't mind me. Just smoking on that Jake Paul pack. Honestly, Jake Paul, trash. Tommy Fury, trash.
Knocks out Jake Paul in the 6th round. He had multiple knockdowns throughout this fight. A little bit of a weird, scrappy fight. Even the referee had to pause the fight in about the 4th round and say, listen, the fans didn't come to pay for this crap. And Joshua handles Jake the business, the 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Jake.
What up, brother? What'd you think, brother?
Y'all can't say Jake Paul don't got heart, bro.
wow, incredible, right? I mean, he kept taking the right hands, the left hooks. What did you think?
You can't say Jake Paul don't got heart, bro.
You got it.
What's good, bro? You the old guy now. That's crazy. Hey, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The 4 rounds? You lost every single one of them. You lost every single round.
Was it a little too long to get done, or?
Listen, when you fight someone like that, who moves around a lot, then you have to try and pick your moments, pick your shots.
Yeah.
That's what he did. So congratulations to Joshua.
Man, and credit.
Rugby tackling you, but he had to do what he had to do to survive, and he did that. So, you know, it's very difficult to go in like, you know, out the ring for 14 months and just be razor sharp with a guy running. And so, yeah, probably 2 or 3 rounds more than expected, but.
Nah, Jake is tough. He's tough. He's tough. But the first couple shots didn't land clean. The last one landed clean.
Where does Jake go from here?
Like he said, he need a rest. Take some time off. Enjoy the fruits of his labor.
Say what you want about Jake Paul, but that boy is a real showman. He got some real clean hits off, but I'm not gonna lie, what really got him down bad was the fact that he got gassed, bro. That was really it. He got so gassed. But one thing I think this fight did is it gained him a little bit more respect amongst the boxing community,
but
bro.
The real shock is how close chaos came before the inevitable collapse. Everyone thought this would end in 2 rounds. It didn't. And that's the problem. Stay right here because the reason why changes everything. Boxing insiders dropped their predictions before the bell even rang, and what they said sounds insane until you see how it played out in real time. One man said Jake Paul would chin AJ, another said AJ would end his life, and one of them was dead wrong for a terrifying reason. Tyson Fury stepped into the fire first and lit the internet on flames by claiming Jake Paul knocks Anthony Joshua out cold. No debate, no hesitation, £1 million on it. That statement alone flipped the narrative. That confidence wasn't accidental. Wait until you hear what Fury saw that nobody else did. Fury didn't just back Jake, he buried AJ by calling him a spent force while Paul is rising, heavier, bulkier, and more dangerous than ever. That's psychological warfare. That's bait, and AJ heard every word. Then Alexander Usyk cut through the hype like a knife and delivered the most chilling line of the entire build-up. If Anthony Joshua wants, he will kill this guy. Not beat him, not outbox him, kill him. Usyk compared Joshua to a Rolls Royce and Jake Paul to a Fiat, and that wasn't trash talk, that was a warning. One mistake changes lives. One clean shot ends careers. And this is why people were genuinely afraid of this fight. Deontay Wilder didn't just pick Joshua, he hinted the entire thing felt scripted. And that statement alone shook the foundation of the event. Weight difference, star power, money. That's how you manufacture danger. Wilder reminded everyone this was the first time Jake Paul fought an active, real professional, not legends past their prime. This wasn't fun anymore. This wasn't cute anymore. This was reality punching back. David Haye went even darker and said Joshua could cause horrendous and lasting damage, the kind that doesn't fade after the paycheck clears. He begged for a compassionate referee, because if AJ traps Jake on the ropes, it could be his last day on earth. That's not promotion, that's fear. Conor Benn respected Jake's courage, but still said his mind immediately went to one thing: have the ambulance ready. Then he paused and said maybe, just maybe, there's a 10% chance. That 10% is what keeps people watching. That 10% is what sells the fight. And that 10% is exactly how legends fall. Roy Jones Jr. brought it back to cold truth and said you don't outbox Anthony Joshua. You gamble your life on one home run shot. Joshua trained for this since childhood. Jake didn't, and that gap doesn't close with confidence. Roy said Jake knows AJ has been down before, and that belief is dangerous because it convinces you miracles are repeatable. But here's the brutal question. If you struggled with Tommy Fury, how do you beat Anthony Joshua? Lennox Lewis made it simple and said this should be easy work for AJ. And when legends agree, history usually follows. Eddie Hearn admitted no sane boxer would turn this down. Too much money, too much exposure, too little risk for Joshua. Hearn laid it bare and said the plan was to knock Jake out as fast as possible because anything else would be a disaster. Going the distance would be embarrassing. Losing would be catastrophic. And surviving somehow still wouldn't make Jake the winner. And that's the twist nobody wants to admit. Jake Paul didn't win the fight, but he won something else. And in the next update, you're going to find out exactly why this loss might have changed boxing forever. Because this loss didn't damage Jake Paul's brand, it upgraded it, and that's what has promoters terrified right now. He didn't win on the scorecards. He won in attention, and attention is the real championship belt. Jake Paul proved you don't need to dominate to survive the spotlight. You just need to last long enough for doubt to creep in. 6 rounds was the crack in the armor, and cracks are where revolutions start. The boxing purists hate this part, but the numbers don't lie. More eyeballs, more controversy, more money, and suddenly the sport has a problem. It can't punch away, because now every fighter sees the blueprint. You don't have to be the best, you just have to be brave enough to step in, and brave enough keeps the cameras rolling. Here's the part nobody is saying out loud yet. Jake Paul lost to Anthony Joshua and still walked out more powerful than half the division. That scares champions, that scares promoters, that scares the entire old guard. And behind closed doors, conversations have already shifted. Bigger names, bigger risks, bigger paydays. Because if Jake can survive AJ, who's really off limits anymore? This is where boxing quietly changes. Merit takes a back seat, momentum takes the wheel, and the next matchup you hear rumored is going to sound impossible. Because this fight proved one thing beyond any doubt: the line between spectacle and sport is officially gone. And once that line disappears, there's no going back. So when the next announcement drops, don't act surprised. When another undefeated record gets dangled in front of Jake Paul, don't blink. Because the machine has tasted blood, and in the next breakdown, I'm exposing the exact opponent being discussed right now. Not the one they want you to expect, the one they're hoping you won't see coming.
I mean, I expected Jake to fight the way he fought.
Right.
You know, trying to stay away. You don't know if how long that's gonna last. You know, Joshua has something to say about that. So you don't know, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised.
Right. Were you, I don't know, impressed by anything Jake did? Maybe getting, I mean, he took a right hand to heavyweights have taken and.